Can we just take a second to look at how amazing this is? That is a huge, huge tree. Bye-bye! I just want to update you guys a little bit on what's going on right now. Thinking about it now, I kind of picked a really creepy place to do that. I parked right in front of my old house, which is right there. Oh, they got some reindeer up top. Isn't that cute? And I'm sure that you guys do this too, but when you sell a place, you kind of occasionally check up on it just to see what they've done with it, you know? The place looks good, but I wanted to update you guys. Rebecca got a new job, so she is in Victoria. She is working today. We're both right now living out of the truck camper. She is looking for a place to rent, so she's gonna get a place by the end of the month to move into. And for me, in 9 days, I'm going to Kelowna to help my parents move in and spend Christmas with them. So for the next 9 days, I'm gonna be in and around Victoria, maybe just on the outskirts of Victoria. And then after I get back from Kelowna, I am going to hit the logging roads again. I miss traveling the back country and finding places that I never knew existed. And so when I get back, Rebecca will have her place in Victoria, and so I can take off during the week while she's busy and go find some really neat places, and then go back and forth from Victoria to spend time with her in her new place. And so that is the plan. Wanted to keep you guys updated on what's going on, but let's get into the video. Would I buy a truck camper again with a slide? So guys, today we're going to be talking about probably the question I get asked the most is, if you were to do it all over again, would you still get a truck camper with the slide? And so today I'm going to be talking about that. So I love the treat of putting the slide out. I mean, look at this. It always amazes me when I'm sitting in bed watching TV and I look out and I go, all of that is in the box of my truck. Like, that just blows my mind. But the question, of course, is not, does it blow my mind? Is it practical, and would I do it again? The short answer is no. I would not buy a truck camper with a slide, but let me explain. So when I first got into this lifestyle, I was a little bit worried about the space. I had always lived in a home, or I'd always rented a place. I'd never lived in a confined space like this. And so when I saw the truck camper with a slide, I went, how great would that be? It does definitely open things up, and it kind of looks like a small apartment in here. But almost spending 2 years in the truck camper, I would now go to say I should have got a truck camper without a slide. And there's 2 reasons why. Number 1 is weight. The slide adds a lot of weight to this truck camper. Arctic Fox's campers are already extremely heavy because they have a lot in them. The dry weight of this camper is about 3,500 pounds. So there's lots of insulation, lots of material in here to make the truck camper heavy, and then you add a slide onto that, which makes it even heavier. Number 2, space. Now, space goes both ways. With the slide out, I have a lot of space, but because I live on side streets, I rarely put the slide out. And so for a lot of the time, that slide comes in, but because it's a slide, it actually closes off a lot of natural space that I would have without it being a slide. Now for the rest of the video, I'm gonna put the slide in, I'm gonna start my generator up, but just take a good look. This is nice, right? I can get to the door very easy. I can kick my shoes off. I can lay on the ground. I can do push-ups. I could really have a full workout in here. See, this is the problem right here. I can't gain any more weight. I can't go to Save on Foods and get their slices of cake because I'm having a hard time as I've gained a little bit of weight to get in and out of my own home. Let me show you. This is the problem area. Right there. That is as much space as I have to get in and out of my camper. So when I come inside, I'll kick my shoes off, but then I gotta shove the shoes basically under here so that I don't trip on them. And once you're past that little area, things really start to open up. All right, so that is the space that I have. That is my living space. And when my girlfriend comes over, she likes to sit where you're sitting right now. So I'm forced to get in here. And then I go, oh no, I forgot something. And I go, babe, can you please go right up to the bed and grab me my laptop? So it's kind of annoying for her. Now with this all being said, I look at the positives. So when I go to build my cabin in the woods, which I am so excited about, it's gonna be happening soon-ish. Within a year is my guess. When I go build the cabin, or when I go to RV parks, or where I stay at friends where I'm staying for a long amount of time, I put the slide out, and that is worth it to me for the extra money that I paid. Now because I rarely put the slide out, the reason I say no, I wouldn't get a slide in, slide out camper is because I just 90% of the time I don't use the slide. And so this whole area that I just talked about, in and out, I mean, you're cutting off half of the living room. If this was a non-slide out truck camper, you would have about that much space. This whole area would be pushed over to this corner and there'd be much more space. This is my advice to people who are buying a camper. If you plan on staying in RV parks, or if you plan on parking a camper on your piece of property, or having your son live in the RV because you kicked him out of the house and that RV is stationary, or you're able to put the slide out, go for it. I mean, you spend a little extra money getting the slide, but it opens up everything. For those of you who are living the more of a mobile lifestyle, you're constantly on the go, don't get a slide. It's just not worth it. It weighs you down. You got to worry about bringing it in and out. It blocks off a lot of room, and to me it's just not worth it. So the simple answer as of right now, I wish I did not have this slide, but in a year when I'm building my cabin in the woods and I got this truck camper parked right there, set up perfectly, I'm going to be living in like a small cabin while I build my bigger cabin. So that is the one perk to having a slide. And I can already see this comment in the comment section, but would you get a dually truck? Even if I could haul a camper with a single wheel truck, I still think that I would get a dually. You have more stability, and if a tire goes, if a tire blows, which I had a flat tire on my cross Canada trip. If you haven't checked that out, if you're new to the channel, I'll link it in the description below. We went across Canada for 45 days. I made 21 videos, check that out. But yeah, I would always go with the 1-ton dually. I love having those two wheels. If you get a flat tire on one, you can still drive to a service station to get it changed. That is a big plus side to having a dual wheel truck. Probably the biggest mistake I made was getting a standard cab pickup truck. So standard cab means there's only two, or single cab means there's only two doors. I don't have a back seat. I don't even have an extended cab. I don't even have a little tiny back seat for a little kid to sit in. So that is something I would do different. I would get an extended cab or a quad cab, and that would give me more storage, and it would also give me a little less teeter. I have quite a bit of teeter in my truck because it's such a short wheelbase, but if I expanded those wheels and I had the truck camper, then there's just more of a wheelbase to help that out a bit, and which would offer a smoother ride as well. And the last thing I would do differently, knowing how I am with space, is I would just get a smaller truck camper. I really don't need this big of a camper. So I would go 1 or even 2 models down from this and be perfectly fine with the amount of space that gives me. So those are the things that I would do different, and I hope that I answered your question. If you're looking to get a truck camper with a slide in, slide out, think about it for a little bit. Either way, I mean, you still get to live this lifestyle. There's pros and cons to both. And when you're going to pull that trigger, just think of the future. I mean, are you gonna live the mobile lifestyle for a long time, or are you gonna settle down, or are you gonna park at a lot of RV parks? Just kind of base your decision on what I talked about. So that's it for me, guys. Oh, before I end the video, here's the videos to come in the 9 days before I head to Kelowna, and then I'll do lots of videos with family. I want to talk about how much we spent on our across Canada trip in gas and food. I want to see how much that trip actually cost, going all the way across Canada in 45 days. That'll be exciting and also depressing. What is it like to drive a dually? I want to talk about that. I also want to talk about what's it like hauling this camper, which I kind of talked about a little bit in this video, but I want to touch base a little bit more. And I want to get Rebecca, so probably this weekend when she's not working, I want to get Rebecca to talk about what was it like for her living in this camper. And she's been living in this camper before we went on the trip. She was kind of living with me, and then after. So I want to get her opinions for all you girls out there wanting to do this, or your boyfriends wanting to do this and trying to bring you along. I want to get her opinion on that, and I want to talk to her about if space was an issue for her. And if it gets nice out, I want to show you how to seal the roof of your RV so you don't get any leaks. I spent a lot of time learning how to do it myself. I sealed my RV before we went across Canada, and I learned a lot of good tips and tricks on that. So that video is on its way, and then a few more. I don't know the order of them, but that's it for me, guys. Hope that you enjoyed the video. Keep living that dream. Until next time, my friends, take care, and bye-bye. Man, that was a good extra. That was good. That was on point, wasn't it?